Howdy, brother. I don't know why I've just been saying that a lot lately. I apologize. All right, so some interesting stuff happened today. If you've been paying attention at all to the news, Donald Trump and the EU reached an agreement to stop the potential transatlantic trade war that had been threatened by the president. And I'm going to talk about some good things and some bad things that may come of this. Obviously, people are really excited about the fact that President Trump has a big win, especially on the right. People are really excited about that. I'm skeptical. I don't know. So, we can go ahead and get right into it. One of the biggest good things that came out of this, obviously, is that it seems that the president's tactics of threatening tariffs on potential trading partners has worked. It worked here. The EU has receded a lot of its big tariffs on American products into the European Union, and in turn, Donald Trump has decided not to tariff car imports from the European Union. And there's a couple reasons why I think the European Union had to do this. The main one being is that it's on fire right now. The EU, although talks between the UK and the European Union aren't going very well for the UK, in my opinion. I feel like they're negotiating from a weak position. However, a lot of people are starting to see the cracks in the armor of the European Union in the fact that a lot of its eastern support in its eastern countries like Poland, Austria, and countries over on the eastern side closest to Russia, you're starting to see those countries really kind of pull away from the European Union. A lot of votes for potential leaving, like Britain did. And this is really starting to hurt the European Union in the fact that they can no longer support the huge thing that they've built up, especially without the Britain, which supposedly will be leaving within the next 5 years, is about the timeline where I think this is potentially going to happen. But that's why I think this worked. I think it worked because European Union can't afford the tariffs that the United States were set to impose on them. The reason I think this is bad, and I know I'm going to get flack for this because I'm a Republican, and if you say anything bad about President Trump and you're a Republican, you're a cuck, or you're a rhino, a Republican in name only, and so on and so on. I actually like what the president has done so far for the most part. I'm not a big fan of the tariffs. I'm a very big guy on free trade. I'm not a very big economic protectionist. So, what I think the big problem here is after this is I think Trump and his administration is going to be more emboldened to impose tariffs on trading nation states. And I think that a lot of these trading nation states actually have the stability to fight back against this trade war. The big one obviously being China. China can actually probably sustain this trade war for 5 to 10 years, which is longer than Trump is going to be in office. And I think that's what they're going to try and do, is just try and wait him out of office. And that's where I see the problem. You have Chinese bankers and stuff like that. They're willing to subsidize the government in order to maintain the level of growth that they've been having, which is actually pretty large. And this is really not good for the United States because I don't feel like Trump can win re-election if the tariffs on China remain as high as they are, because prices of goods from China are going to go up. As you know, a lot of the prices of Chinese products are a lot lower than the prices of American products, and a lot of people get those Chinese products because they are so cheap. Now, they might not be as good as American products and whatnot, but a lot of people are more concerned about the price than they are about the quality. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea to have. I'm just saying it's something that people think about. Now, with the prices being so low on Chinese products, the tariffs are supposed to even out the prices. With this comes a host of problems, especially for people who aren't as well off as some Americans, and their inability to afford what they used to be able to afford. It's the people that are going to be hurt most by this are people in poor communities, and that's going to make a lot of people in poor communities turn blue. And I think that that's a big problem that Trump faces not only in 2018 but in his re-election in 2020 is this potential bluing. I don't feel like that doesn't sound like a very smart term, bluing. He's gonna blue the middle American poor community. I don't know where I was going with this. Long story short, I don't know what I'm. Okay, I feel like this went really off the rails really fast. The whole gist of this was is he's gonna lose some support from his working class white vote that he won in Pennsylvania and Michigan, Wisconsin, all those places. He's going to lose a lot of support when they're unable to afford the things that they used to be able to afford. That was the whole gist of it. I got off on a tangent about bluing, and now I don't really know how to end this video. This is awkward. So the